Ever since Boruto chapter 79, where Boruto lost everything and Kawaki gained it all, one main question arose, and that is, when will Omnipotence be reversed? Or how exactly will it end up being reversed in the later stages of the Boruto series? This has caused a lot of theories to be created, but one question has never been asked. Does Boruto himself want to reverse Omnipotence? This question is quite interesting, and I believe that breaking down the answer to this question will help us find what are Boruto's true intentions in this time skip. So I think it's fair that we go back to Omnipotence itself and discuss everything that led up to it and help us find a conclusion on Boruto's stance on Omnipotence. We know that Kawaki's desires materialize by him tapping into Ida's godly powers, where Kawaki and Boruto's reality completely changed, with Kawaki now becoming Naruto Uzumaki's son and Boruto being a random stranger. We come to find out through Momoshiki that this was actually Kawaki's desire. So let's break down exactly what Kawaki wanted to occur at that time. Kawaki at the time wanted to get rid of Boruto because of Momoshiki that was inside of him. However, Kawaki knew that by killing Boruto, he would be indirectly hurting Naruto, as when he killed Boruto for the first time, he saw Naruto's reaction. So deep down in Kawaki's mind, he wished that Boruto was just an outsider so that by killing Boruto, he wouldn't be hurting anyone else. So because of that desire that Kawaki had, Boruto and Kawaki's lives were reversed, where Kawaki would be killing Boruto, who is simply an outsider, while he remained the young lord, the son of Naruto Uzumaki, who was the Hokage. But it is because of this that a lot of people hate and slander Kawaki, because of his desire that ultimately led to Boruto being an outsider and having to leave the village or simply be killed. But what caused Kawaki to go from trying to help Boruto get rid of his karma to ultimately killing him and robbing him of his life? To find the answer to this, we have to go back to the end of the Ishiki arc, after they had finally defeated Ishiki, but Momoshiki came and destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan. One question now remained, and that was, how were they going to get rid of Boruto's karma? Kawaki lost his karma through the help of Amado, Sasuke, Boruto, and Naruto by defeating Ishiki. However, Boruto's problem was a lot more difficult, because they didn't have an enemy that they had to confront and defeat, and then they would end up getting rid of the karma. So because of this, Boruto's situation was a lot more difficult. The only thing they could think about doing right now was to get Boruto to implant his karma on someone else. However, this also created a lot of problems for Boruto, as due to Boruto's ideology, him putting a karma on some random person would ultimately lead that person to die, and Boruto would be responsible for their death. So Boruto didn't really like this idea. This is until Code came into the situation, where they then decided that they would plant their karma on Code. During their fight versus Code, they ended up seeing that they were simply unmatched, and Kawaki decided to let himself be taken in so that he could protect Naruto Uzumaki. Boruto, through the help of Code and him teaching him how to use the karma, ended up becoming strong to the point where he could get rid of Code himself. But during that fight, we as an audience also realized that planting a karma onto Code really wasn't that smart of an idea. At the time, Boruto and Kawaki weren't strong enough, but that was dealt with Boruto learning version 2 karma. So the only other problem that we came to see was that Code has the white karma, which means that he has a defective karma, so Ishiki himself couldn't resurrect in Code's body, which would mean that if Boruto placed a karma on Code, maybe one, it wouldn't work because he already has a karma, but this also means that there is a good chance that Boruto's karma, if he implants it on Code, would also be defective because Code is not a suitable vessel, which means that Boruto and Kawaki find themselves back to square one. They have to think about a different option for Boruto to get rid of his karma. But Momoshiki ended up taking over Boruto's body, which made the situation even more complicated because they now had to deal with Momoshiki and code. However, Kawaki no longer has his karma, so Kawaki isn't as strong. And now Naruto and Shikamaru ended up joining the fight. The one thing that Kawaki didn't want to happen was for Naruto to end up meeting Code, because he simply wasn't strong enough to deal with Code after losing Kurama. Kawaki, seeing that Naruto could really end up dying at any time if Momoshiki is left to live in Boruto's body, he came to the decision that it is simply better and that there is no other way for Boruto to deal with Momoshiki unless they end up killing Boruto. Boruto then agreed because he believed that this was for the greater good, and Kawaki continued because he believed it would lead to the best consequence, which was that Naruto and the village would be safe. A lot of us agreed with Kawaki, and this is why people weren't mad at Kawaki for killing Boruto. Some people were mad at Kawaki, I'll take that back, but if you follow a logical path, you wouldn't really be mad at Kawaki for deciding to kill Boruto, because Boruto himself agreed, and during that situation, this was the only decision that could be met. This decision was normally supposed to be done by Naruto, as the 5 Kages warned him, but Naruto simply didn't have the guts to do it because it was his own son and he was probably not strong enough to get rid of Momoshiki himself. However, we all know that Boruto ended up getting resurrected, so Kawaki's job was truly not done. And things got even worse when Boruto and Momoshiki's minds started merging, where we would literally see Boruto and Momoshiki side by side with each other, like we saw in chapter 73, where Kawaki was starting to notice that Momoshiki was popping in, and Sasuke also noticed Momoshiki's presence. And things got even worse where Boruto himself started lying to Kawaki about when and when not he was talking to Momoshiki, which made Kawaki even more wary of Boruto. And some of you guys may ask, why is Boruto lying to Kawaki? Aren't they a team? Aren't they trying to find out a solution to this problem together? But in Boruto's mind, there is an even greater problem, and that's why Boruto refused to be killed by Kawaki. Because Boruto himself knew that it wouldn't lead to the greater good. Because first of all, Boruto just found out that Kawaki had sealed Naruto and Hinata, but also Boruto had a very interesting goal at the time. And we later find out that Kawaki and Boruto had this conversation, but Boruto really wanted to make sure that Momoshiki's prophecy didn't come to be. Boruto allowed Kawaki to kill him because he believed that that was Momoshiki's prophecy coming to be. That's why he asked Momoshiki, so is this me losing everything? But when Boruto found out that this wasn't the prophecy that Momoshiki was talking about, he made it his goal to make sure that Momoshiki's prophecy wouldn't come to be. And by Kawaki going around and sealing various people, Boruto and Kawaki could no longer trust each other at that time. Which is why Boruto didn't let Kawaki kill him, and Kawaki was trying to seal Boruto, later on reversing their lives and blame Boruto for the death of Naruto Uzumaki. So what is Boruto's stance on omnipotence? When Boruto finds out about Kawaki's desires and how it led to him and Kawaki's lives being reversed, Boruto doesn't feel bad for himself and vowed to get rid of Kawaki. Boruto himself understands what Kawaki is going through, because now that he is in Kawaki's position, he understands the sorrow, the loneliness, the struggles that Kawaki is going through. So in his mind, he is like, now that I'm in your position, I fully understand what you are going through. So I will try my best to make sure that this is a quarrel between brothers. This is what Boruto said, and this is what Boruto vowed to make sure it would come to pass. So we can see just from that statement that Boruto didn't have a negative point of view in Kawaki, but was more compassionate and empathetic towards Kawaki's position. So Boruto, after the omnipotence, we don't see any anger from Boruto, but we see compassion and understanding. And Kawaki's stance was that Boruto is a dead man in my eyes and I have to get rid of Boruto. If the village believes that I am Boruto, this would lead to the greater consequence. When Boruto dies, nobody is going to be mad. Everybody is going to be happy. So I am doing the right thing. This is both of their different philosophies. So if Boruto doesn't really care about the omnipotence and doesn't want to go and expose Kawaki for being a fraud and expose Kawaki for not actually being the son of Naruto Uzumaki, we can clearly see that this is the case where Boruto comes into the village and he's not out there saying, oh yo Kawaki, tell them the truth, tell them that you are lying about everything that's going down. He's like, yo, okay, you're doing better, it seems like you're doing cool in the village. Oh Shikamaru, you became the Hokage, oh that's dope. His mission doesn't really revolve around the omnipotence. So this brings me back to the question, Does Boruto even want to get rid of the omnipotence? And from what we are seeing right now, I can say that Boruto doesn't care, and that Boruto has understood that by being the Shadow Hokage, it comes with you being viewed negatively by the people around you. And this is what Boruto wants to be. Boruto wants to be a Sasuke, Itachi-like figure in the Leaf. But what did Itachi and Sasuke have to deal with? Itachi's situation is a bit different from Sasuke's, so let's discuss it first. Itachi had to be looked upon as a bad guy, even though he really wasn't, and was given the Leaf a favor. Sasuke's is a little different because he actually did commit all those heinous crimes that people are mad at him for, but he continues to help out the village, even though a lot of people still resent and want him to be locked up. But as the Shadow Hokage, he works in the shadows and continues to support Naruto, even though the village truly doesn't accept him. And this is going to be Boruto's fate. As he says, he wants to be Sarada's right-hand man. He wants to be the Shadow Hokage for Sarada. So he will have to deal with the same things that Itachi and Sasuke had to deal with. The village resenting him, but he continues to help them, but in the shadows. However, this doesn't mean that omnipotence will not get reversed, as we are literally being hinted towards what will actually end up happening. By Boruto continuing to be himself, he will indirectly reverse omnipotence, because people's memories will be completely different from what they are seeing Boruto actually do. So by Boruto continuing to remain Boruto and being true to himself, he will indirectly reverse omnipotence. By him continuing to have this mentality, which is completely different from the memories that people have of Boruto, who they now see as Kawaki, they will slowly start to question that Kawaki and Boruto are truly who they say they were. And another reason why we know that Boruto's mission is not to get rid of the omnipotence, because he has been already told by Momoshiki that omnipotence cannot be reversed. So he's thinking, okay, cool, I will just have to live my life this way. And he has not been angered by omnipotence. We see him smiling with Sasuke. Boruto's mission is to save Sasuke, as we know that that's all that Boruto cares about. We see that the change that Boruto endured in the time skip doesn't come from the omnipotence, but it comes from Sasuke being turned into a tree. And that's why Boruto working towards that goal will indirectly reverse omnipotence, as people will realize that Boruto is actually the good guy, and that the memories that they have are completely different from what they are currently seeing. And this is what will allow Boruto to indirectly reverse omnipotence, by him trying to save Sasuke. But Sasuke isn't the only one that Boruto is trying to save, as we see in one of the panels that Boruto says that he is also trying to save somebody else. And that somebody else is Naruto and Hinata, the ones that Kawaki has sealed. And to figure out how exactly Boruto will save Naruto and Hinata, you have to watch this video right here.